Hey guys, okay, here I am again. Welcome. This is Storytime with Jules by the Sea. So today's story is going to be just a little different. I know that my past two stories have been about magic spells and all the supernatural things that have happened. Now I'm going to have a lot more stories like that, but with this one, since it's November, I'm feeling particularly thankful, and it is the holidays, so I want to try to keep it a little light, although I do have more horrific stories to share. And this is my dream journal, and I'm going to be probably sharing a lot of stories that I've had or dreams that I've had from this dream journal in future stories. So this particular story is about an angel, and yes, I've actually seen an angel, and I do believe in angels. I'm very spiritual, as you can see. I do have my moonstone on today. Moonstone is very good. It actually protects you, protects your mood, it protects your how you're feeling. So you're not feeling, if you're particularly feeling sad or happy, it kind of does how do I say, radiate what you happen to be feeling at the time, but it's also a protective stone. So I figured while I'm telling these stories, I might as well have a bit more of protection, because I think talking about them also attracts and sometimes brings things that you don't particularly want. I'll try to elaborate on things. No one has questions for me yet, so I do have a lot of information and a lot of things that I know about the supernatural and about things that, well, the average person probably wouldn't know because they've happened to me. So this particular story is about an angel, like I said. This was in Florida as well. This was an apartment that I moved into right after living with my best friend, and we were still neighbors. She was just like 2 blocks up. But that night was really weird. My sister, who's always been my roommate for as long as I can remember, she worked nights. So she went to work, and it was just a regular day, a regular night for me. I was getting ready to go to bed. I was tired, so tired. I was still in the same job, my banking job, so I had to be up really early. And I remember, I took my shower, went to my room, and I remember hearing a ruckus in the kitchen. Now, granted, my sister had left. It was about 9 or 10 at night, and my sister was gone. She was already at work. So there was no one in the apartment but me. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. We had a pretty big kitchen and living room. And it was situated on the 2nd floor. So obviously no one had walked into the apartment or anything. Everything was locked up tight. And I remember being so tired that, I just kind of said my prayers. I especially said a prayer to St. Michael. And I remember saying my regular prayers, and I said, you know what, if this is the night I die, well, so be it. So I went to bed like any other night. Well, not any other night, I was scared shitless, but I went to bed and I fell right to sleep. So in this dream, now you must be saying, oh, it's just a dream. You just had a dream of an angel. You really didn't see an angel. Well, unbeknownst to many people, dreams do mean something. Now, I'm not talking about the dreams that you have if you're stressed out or you're feeling sad or you're depressed or anything like that. I know you can have those crazy dreams, and usually those really don't mean anything except they're just expressing what you felt and thought throughout the day. I have had many premonitional dreams, so this was not an ordinary dream. And dreams can tell you things, and I'm sorry, but when you do have things that are not of this earth bother you, 9 times out of 10 they will come into your dreams. And you can believe me if you want to or not, but that is the truth, or at least that's my truth. Anyway, okay, so I went to bed. When I woke, I kind of woke up in the dream. I know that's weird, but I woke up in the dream and everything was exactly the same. But when I looked up, right over my feet, he wasn't standing on me, I couldn't see his feet, was the most beautiful freaking angel I have ever seen in my life. And I don't know if it was just me. I mean, after all, it is a dream, so your mind kind of interprets things in your own way. But I looked up and he was clad in a fireman gear. I mean, the jacket, the hat, the axe, and the axe was just phenomenally big. It was bigger than me, I think. And he had that thing slung over his shoulder. He had the hat, the big huge hat. His face was dirty. It looked like he had put out a fire, and his whole fireman jacket was dirty. And of course underneath I could see his flowing robes, and of course behind him his huge white wings. So I remember looking up and being in complete and utter awe. And, he just looked stern. He had this look on his face like, he was at his work, at his job, protecting me. And before I went to bed, like I said, I heard noises in the kitchen. I heard like the cupboards opening up. I heard dishes being moved around. So that's how I fell asleep, scared to death. So when I see this angel, I'm like, oh my God, this is what a relief. He's actually come to help me. But instead of being thankful or just being quiet, I was just the rambunctious person that I am. And I remember sitting up in bed and asking him, what is your name? What is your name? Where did you come from? Who are you? And I over and over and over again, I just kept asking his name. What is your name? And he gave me his name. Now, not only do I remember this entire dream, I remember his name. And I've not found it anywhere. I've not found it in the Bible. I've not found it absolutely anywhere. And I don't know, it just makes me feel special. And his name was Allegrier. And I will never forget that name. I think I've actually made a, an email account with his name. That's how much I loved it. And I just remember in the dream after he told me his name, he was kind of annoyed because he's trying to do his job and I'm screaming, what's your name? What's your name? But anyway, he gives me the name, and after that, I wasn't afraid anymore at all. I mean, there was no fear in me whatsoever. So I pretty much told him, I said, hey, you can leave now. And, you probably have somebody else to protect or something else to do. And he looked, I remember he looked at me and he said, are you sure? And I said, I'm positive. I'm absolutely positive. You can go. I'm not afraid anymore. And then I remember him saying, well, don't worry. I'm going to take what's out there with me. Meaning whatever the heck was in my kitchen, he was going to take it with me. And I fell back to sleep and I didn't wake up until about 7 a.m. refreshed, rested, and not afraid. That was one of the best dreams I've ever had, and I know it wasn't just a dream, but like I said, if you have any questions or you want to comment, please do. That's the end of my story. This is the end of a story time with Jules by the Sea. Don't forget to subscribe. I do have a million more stories that I'm going to share. I actually love sharing all these things. It's like kind of therapeutic for me. But remember, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. And until my next story.